Hey, I'm Savannah Miles, Teen Universe USA, and you're watching Pageant in Pajamas.
Oh no. Oh.
Maybe I should unmute myself.
Yeah, that might work.
I mean, this might actually go a lot better if I muted myself the entire time. But let's try that again. Hi, everyone. It's Adrian from the Pageant. I was about to say the Pageant Planet because I've been talking to Savannah. Oh, God, this is the worst beginning to a podcast episode ever. I'm going to blame it on Clubhouse because I'm looking over there. So, guys, if you're listening on Clubhouse, just first off, welcome. Secondly, be aware that you are being not necessarily recorded, but we're broadcasting this simultaneously to Facebook Live and YouTube. So whatever you say will go down for all eternity. If you do have a question, put your hands up and I'll try my best to kind of look at Clubhouse every now and then to see if anyone has a question. And you can ask our special guest, who is Savannah Miles, Teen Universe USA 2021. Savannah, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
How is it? Is this the first time you've ever gone live or done an interview in your pajamas?
Oh, I mean, that you can see me, yes. I've done a lot of Zoom calls where I've had my pajamas on, like in the second half of my body, a lot of pajama pants. So it's my full fit for the first time. So I'm excited to be rocking it.
Yeah, people don't need to see what goes on below the camera. I mean, I often have like a suit top on and a shirt, and then I have shorts underneath. So, well, I mean, we've all been in lockdown. You need to be comfortable, right? You need to do what works for you. And I've got Danielle and Chloe as usual. Danny and Chloe, did you guys tune into the Miss Universe GB announcement?
We sure did. So excited. And happy International Women's Day, guys.
Yes, good women.
Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot that. So yes, because actually today it's not, because I'm in the future. So it's no longer International Women's Day for me. It's now the Tuesday. But happy International Women's Day to you guys. Hope you celebrated it accordingly. So for Savannah, they just announced the new Miss Universe GB title holder, the outgoing queen. The outgoing Queen, Emma Jenkins, because of Corona and whatnot, has been the queen for how long?
18 months.
Like 2 years? 18 months? Yeah. Longest reigning ever queen.
Oh no, Chloe, and your ring light. We need to do a montage of the chronicles of Chloe's ring light.
My charger came out of my laptop and it's gonna die, so that's why I'm like.
Okay, do you want to go and fix? Do you want to fix it up before you just disappear from the call?
It's kind of like Star Wars. It went down. What's happening?
Are you okay, Chloe?
Are you good? Are you good? Oh no!
All right. So if you're ever listening to this on the podcast or you're listening on Clubhouse, Chloe Davies is at the moment fighting with her ring light, about to have a full-on brawl. It's now right in the middle of her camera. We'll just leave Chloe to her own devices as she tries desperately not to laugh. I like how you're trying to hold it together, Chloe. Very, very professional. Savannah, why don't you catch us up with what's been happening, and including you're scheduled to compete next month, right? At the International?
Right. So we're still on as of now. I'll be leaving the 1st of April to go down to Nicaragua. Hopefully capture the Teen Universe title. So it's all coming very soon, but I'm very excited.
Oh my god. Yes. Nicaragua's gonna be amazing. I am that's one of the countries on my list that on my bucket list. That is gonna be such an incredible experience.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. I heard it's so beautiful. So it's a crazy experience. I'm really grateful to have it.
How many countries, Danielle, have you been to? Just so Savannah knows.
Ooh, around 48 countries.
Oh my
God. I've traveled a lot through Europe. Yeah. Still a lot more countries out there to go out and see. And Nicaragua is definitely one of those ones that I need to see.
Well, you'll have to come for the pageant. There you go.
Oh my, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me, because I am that kind of person that is crazy that would book a flight and go watch.
I love a supporter like that. Let's do it. I'll see you there.
April 1st, right? April 1st. Okay.
Okay. And none of you guys have been to Australia, though, have you?
No.
Not yet.
No. Well, you're missing out. I'm just telling you now. But Savannah, coming up to the pageant, how does it feel? I mean, it's still crazy times with sort of the pandemic. It's kind of going away, but it's kind of staying around and outstaying its welcome. So how are the emotions leading up to the international?
It's definitely more emotional than ever, I think. It's hard to be away from family for that long, especially with a pandemic happening. I feel like we've all kind of developed some form of attachment to our home and our new daily life of like constantly seeing my brother every day and my mom every day, and talking to my grandparents. I think family is like more important than it's ever been, especially to me. So going to Nicaragua for an extended period of time is very exciting, but it's also very nerve-wracking because I won't have my mom right there holding my hand the entire way. So, but I'm excited to do so.
It's what are you going to have to jump through any sort of quarantine hoops or health hoops to get to Nicaragua?
So we have a few COVID tests that are required before we get there, and once we get there, we have a COVID test to receive. But once we make it to the pageant, we're in the pageant, thankfully. So hopefully we stay there for now.
And you're feeling prepared? I imagine you've been doing a lot of hard work, so I've got to imagine you're prepared.
I am. I'm so ready to do this. It'll be so fun.
Well,
I'm so excited. I'm excited to see what you wear.
Oh, I'm excited too. I'm excited to show everyone. It's a terrible secret to have to keep.
You don't have to keep it a secret, but I understand that all you pageant girls like to do that. So when exactly is the international pageant happening, Sav, and how long does it go for?
So we traveled down. I believe that competition starts on the 5th, and the final competition is on the 12th or 11th? The 12th. And it'll be broadcast, so you guys can tune in from wherever you may find yourself.
Okay.
Wow, that's
I'll have
exciting.
to see what time it is for me, because normally your guys' pageants are like at 2 or 3 in the morning for me. It's normally more.
Same here.
What time is it for you at the moment, Savannah? Oh,
It's
you've
like
got a clock
4
in the
p.m.
background.
Afternoon. Like 4 in the afternoon.
It's very helpful. You got a clock right behind you, so I know exactly what time it is. I like that sign below it, by the way. Family. What does it say underneath? Family, and then what?
Grateful, thankful, blessed.
Oh,
Southern household.
Is that car sticker underneath? Is that because of your brother, or is that just?
Yes, we actually just moved, so I'm hanging out at my brother's house for the day. So this is my brother's amazing car decor that he is a professional race car driver. So hence all the decor behind me.
What does he race in again? Remind me.
So he does drift. He's a Pro 2 drift car driver. So the ones that like swing around the corners.
Jeez.
No.
So cool.
So
He's
if
crazy.
you ever need a ride anywhere to an appearance, does he drive you?
Well, if I had to get there fast, I believe he would sacrifice and do it for me. He actually took his car to Chipotle. I don't know if you have Chipotle. It's like a Mexican burrito place. And like raced into Chipotle. So
What is Chipotle? I ask this every episode. Someone brings up the name of some restaurant or food, and I don't know what it is. So Chipotle sounds like fast
you
food.
have like Moe's or like Cadoba, like no, it's just like fast Mexican food, I guess. So they make like burritos, bowls, nachos.
So
I
is it
love
like
Mexican.
Taco Bell?
I'd say like it's the Mexican version of Subway.
Yes,
You get what I mean?
exactly.
How they make it in front of you,
Yes, exactly.
much better.
So is it better than Taco Bell?
Better than Taco Bell, yes, definitely.
Okay, there we go. That's all I need to know. I've never visited any of these fast food places, so I just need a ranking. So if I do go there, I need to know which one I should go to, Taco Bell or Chipotle. So guys, if you're listening on Clubhouse, you can raise your hand, I believe. I don't know how that works because I've never used it before. The comments in the meantime, Rachel here has said, hello, Rach. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. And Michelle has said, bonjour, all the best for this international pageant. Savannah, how are we doing on you eating, what was it? You wanted to eat something with the Eiffel Tower in the background. Has that happened yet?
The crepe, it has not happened yet, especially with COVID.
Savannah, what are you doing?
I know.
That's fair enough.
Travel is just so terrible right now, so not yet, but soon, hopefully.
You'll have to come across to London when you're in Paris.
I need to, and then I can come meet you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can come to Ireland too.
Oh, you're from Ireland. I love that.
Yeah.
That's why you probably can't understand a single word that she's saying.
Says.
It's not because there's something wrong with her. She's Irish. So.
No.
I'm sorry, Chloe.
The roasting aside.
It's because I was just watching an episode of Graham Norton, and I don't know if you guys have seen Graham Norton, but at the end he has this thing called the hot seat, where they get a member of the audience in, and if they're just
the one with the dairy girl?
Exactly.
And she got in the car.
She got in someone else's car and started screaming at them to go because she thought it was her boyfriend or her brother, and it turned out to be this 60-year-old lady, and she screamed in panic because she thought she was being held up, and she slammed her foot on the accelerator and drove straight into a pole, a lamppost. So I mean, she was okay, but that who was it that was there? They had an American on there, and Graham Norton was saying like, "Oh, Zach Braff from Scrubs," and Zach Braff the whole time his face was like this because he couldn't understand a single word that this dairy girl was saying. But I gotta say, Chloe, I could understand everything she was saying. So I don't know if it's all hanging around you, talking to you too much, but I can understand the Irish accent now.
That's crazy. Yeah, because a lot of people, even like when I'm speaking to customers from work and stuff, and they're from even England, sometimes struggle to understand me. They're like, "Can you repeat that, please?" And I think it's just the pronunciation in a lot of ways. But yeah, just one of those things that some people get and some people don't. I think the Scottish is harder to understand than the Irish. I feel like sometimes people can get really confused when my stepdad speaks. He's got a really thick Scottish accent. And a lot of people struggle to understand him, even here in Ireland.
Yeah, I struggle more with the Scottish. When people are like, Scottish people are very passionate about something, or they get angry, they start speaking at a million miles per hour. And I'm like, I don't understand a word.
You don't understand a word.
No.
Imagine how it feels for me. Savannah, have you ever struggled understanding anyone's accent?
No. I think Chloe has a great accent, and Danny just understand both of you.
Danielle is normally pretty understandable. It's the Irish one and the Scottish one. I mean, we had Olivia on. Well, go on, Danielle.
No, it's just when I send voice notes and people can't understand me. When I've been celebrating something and I might have had a few drinks, that's when people can't understand me.
Oh, I could understand those voice notes. I just wish I could repeat them and replay them in public because they were hilarious. One time, so that Savannah knows, one time Danielle was sending me a voice note. She had her thumb on the microphone button, on the record button for about 5 seconds. And then the first thing that I hear on her voice note is, "Oh, it's recording." Good God. How many drinks have you had? But look, I mean, it's lockdown. We've all had to find some way of keeping ourselves sane. Savannah, do you speak any other languages, or can you do any other accents? That seems to be a thing that we always have on this show.
I don't speak any other languages. I'm trying to learn Spanish because the pageant's in Nicaragua. I want to be able to communicate. So really all I can say is, "Hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi nombre es Savannah Miles y soy Teen Universe USA." So it just means, "Hi, I'm Savannah Miles, Teen Universe USA."
I pretty much understood what you meant from the words and bits and pieces. Yeah, that's great that you're trying to learn Spanish. How have you found it? Learning the language? Easy? Difficult?
Kind of hard. I think it's more of just like being consistent with it. I don't have like a native Spanish speaker in my household to like constantly speak to. So I learned like weird stuff, like tortuga means turtle.
Oh,
You've even got
Cute.
the hand signals.
Yeah. So that's what I memorized, like random things like that. Nothing really useful.
What phrases would you need to learn as a pageant girl? I'm thinking you need to learn "I'm hungry." Like, where's the food?
100%.
Yeah. Maybe.
Where's the bathroom? It's
Yeah,
probably an important one.
the baño. My feet hurt. Probably. We'll need
Yep.
for that one.
That one you can probably just point to your foot and then start crying. I think everyone will understand that, given that you're all pageant girls. How many are you expecting at the international pageant?
I'm not
in
quite
total?
sure. I think there like more countries have decided to come, but there's obviously been a few that, given their country's regulations, are not able to make it. So I'm not really sure who's going to be able to make it, but whoever's there, we're going to have a great time.
And I know this is shooting way, way ahead, but after you've competed in this one, win or otherwise, you said you were going to take a break. Are you actually going to take a break this time, or are you just going to jump straight into another one?
We all say it.
It's a bug. We always find a new one that you're like, oh, I need to do that. So I'm not going to permanently say I'm going to take a break. You know me. So
Yeah.
if the break will be small. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I
All
would
right.
love to
Fair
see you
enough.
as Miss Georgia USA. Just saying it. Just putting it out there.
Oh, maybe soon. We'll see.
Just bringing you up to date with the comments. Amber here said, good luck at Teen Universe from the Netherlands.
Oh, thank you.
Lucy,
Wow.
good luck at Teen Universe Savannah. Elizabeth has said, evening, everyone. And Ralph
Hey.
Sambat has said, good afternoon, all. Savannah, just before we go on to the part where we're just talking about nonsense, do you want to show Danielle and Chloe your special talent? Because it seems to be a thing.
Absolutely. Okay.
Can I turn away?
The preparation.
I have this beautiful thing called double jointed elbows. So my arm looks like this.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you lift your elbow?
Can I lick it?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Is that physically possible?
No.
Chloe, can you?
No.
No.
But hang on, Chloe, can you get your tongue to the tip of your nose?
Yeah.
She can do that one.
Go on then.
Like, I'm nowhere near that one.
I'm nowhere near that one either.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's brilliant. You freak.
That's brilliant. You freak. I love the way your tongue came out and then you just go there. It was like having a little play.
Oh no, I've licked off my lipstick.
How do you... Like, I'm not even anywhere near it. I can barely get it. Anyway.
No.
I swear I've got like the shortest tongue in the world.
Same. Or my nose is like high or something. Something's not
I think
working out.
Is there
Chloe,
a technique
are you going to explain it?
Oh, I think it's because I have an overbite, or I don't know. Maybe.
Which one's the overbite? Overbite is where their bottom jaw is back, or
No, the top.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the bottom's back. Yeah, there's like a big gap. I can like stick my tongue between my top and bottom teeth.
Oh.
I am now not trying to
have
do
it on
that.
practice. I'm like,
And I'm like,
Oh.
I can't, as I have braces behind my teeth. So
oh.
Mhm.
I'd say this is probably the one area where I've had as much work as a pageant queen has had on their mouth. My mouth is very expensive. I've had 8 adult teeth removed. I still have braces, a wire behind my front teeth and behind my back teeth. So this is a very expensive smile. And I just saw the dentist actually last week. And Chloe, I've got to say, I still hate the dentist.
Same.
I don't
love
know why
it.
you enjoy going to the dentist.
It's that
Whoa,
like
hang on. Savannah, you love the dentist. I'm not talking about like going to have your teeth whitened. I'm talking about like drills and cleaning and that really bad pain.
That's so fun. I love my dentist. So anytime I get to do it with him, I'm like, oh yes, drill my tooth, give me a cavity, that's fine.
yeah, me too. I love the feeling of that needle, like that little stingy feeling of getting the needle, and then you've got that numb mouth for the rest of the day, and it's great. And then your lips feel like they're not really your lips. It's great.
They kind of feel like, I feel that.
Every time I go to the dentist now, I send pictures to Chloe, and just trying to make her really jealous. I'm like, oh, I'm getting another filling today. Shout out to my dentist, who is incredible. I love my dentist, but I still don't
Derry dentist.
The Derry dentist. He's from Derry. We're gonna call him the Derry dentist. And he's done amazing work, and he makes me so calm. But I still don't like the needle. I don't like needles. I don't like the feeling of being numb, being out of control with those big old things in your mouth, drooling everywhere. I'm not a fan of it.
No, I love it whenever you're doing your little rinse and you're like.
You like that?
It's like a treat.
Yeah,
I hate
like,
it because normally they've had. Yeah, you like that? You like drooling?
No, I just like the dentist. I just like that feeling when your mouth is numb and you're trying to rinse. It's funny.
Oh God.
It's funny, but I don't like it because normally when you've had the needle, they've also had those giant, the things that make you look like the Joker in your mouth. So when they take it out, your lips are still like this for a while, and you go to rinse, and it goes everywhere because you can't close your mouth.
That's
you
part of the
like
fun.
that?
Yeah.
I feel like I've become an invalid. Part of the fun. I'm not saying I hate dentists on a personal level. I just hate the dentist. Like, I don't look for. I hadn't gone to the dentist for about 2.5 years, and you're supposed to, at least in Australia, they say once every 6 months. I just have been putting it off, and then when the pandemic hit, it was like, yes, I can't go to the dentist, but I figured I should probably go. I just can't believe that Chloe has finally found a friend who also likes a dentist.
Oh my God.
I just love that feeling when you know that you're like clean whenever you come out of the dentist.
Oh yeah, I like that.
That's one great.
That's the hygienist though. Like I like that because then when I've had a scale and polish, you feel like, oh, I got a new mouth. Like that.
Yeah.
Like, getting root canals, no bueno.
I don't think I've ever had a root canal. I think I've only ever had one filling. I've had braces twice. I've had composite bonding. But I've only ever had one filling. So I've never had a root canal or anything like that.
You're in for a real treat if you ever get a root canal.
What does that feel like? I mean, it just sounds horrific, but...
It's basically like... I'm going to do an absolute terrible job describing it. It's basically when the filling's got a little bit too deep. So they need to drill right down into the tooth. They then need to kill the nerve in the bottom of the tooth.
God.
Obviously, you're numbed up by this. You don't feel anything. They need to kill the nerve and then feel the tooth and then cap it because it's been drilled so much into. But obviously, the smell of them burning that nerve, not the best. But it's not that painful. It's not painful, and really, like the worst part is getting the needle to numb up. Because a lot of people are scared of getting root canals, but they're fine. You're going to be numbed.
I think I told you guys about having my wisdom teeth out. My wisdom teeth were impacted, which means they're growing along in the gum and horizontally. And I had, for some reason, really big wisdom teeth. So I decided to do it under local anesthetic just because I didn't like the idea of being put under. And what that means is because they were impacted and so large, you are awake. You don't feel anything, but you're awake whilst they dig a hole in your gum. They had to cut my wisdom tooth into quarters whilst it was in the gum with some sort of saw, I think. So you can smell the burning, and then they have to pull it out. And then you feel that wrench when the thing is detached from your jaw. I mean, you can't feel anything, but you can still, like, there's some sounds that you shouldn't. Just like Savannah's elbow is something you should never see. That feeling is a feeling you should never have. It's like someone's broken your neck. It just crack. And you're like, oh, and you're awake for the whole thing. So it's horrible. I hate the dentist. Nothing against them personally. They have I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you stand over. Like, my back hurts just thinking about having to stand over someone, especially if they have bad breath, and just having to look in someone's mouth the whole day. I don't know how you guys do it. I do know that dentists have a very bad mental health issue. They're one of the industries where, unfortunately, there's a lot of mental health problems, even suicide. And I can understand it if you have to look into someone's mouth the whole day. But it's a tough job. It's a tough job. But I still hate the dentist. Sorry. But Savannah and Chloe, if you ever want to rep a dentist, any dentist watching, if you would like to sponsor two lovely young ladies, there's one in America and there's one in Derry for you.
There we go.
Winning smiles.
Well, you do all have beautiful smiles, so I got to give your dentist props for that, and probably your genes as well. I'll just bring up to date with the comments. Elizabeth has said, with a subluxed shoulder, yes, it's actually possible. Don't recommend it though. She must be talking about the licking the elbow.
Oh,
What's a subluxed shoulder?
Ooh.
I don't think I have that.
It sounds painful. Subluxed shoulder. Are
Go on,
you
Chloe.
aliens? It's my nightmare.
ow. What?
That's definitely
For anyone
not
listening
ever
on
becoming a
Clubhouse,
clip.
Chloe just attempted to lick her elbow.
She got pretty. I mean, honestly, like
Very far.
I can barely reach my arm with my
Yeah,
own.
mine doesn't go that far.
No.
No. Oh my
I've got
god.
my freakishly long tongue.
Your tongue is so long because she's like putting it in random.
Yeah, it's cheating. It's not fair. Your tongue is like twice as long as mine. It's not that you can get your elbow further. It's that your tongue
I'm a
is like.
lizard.
See, I
What's
feel
that one
like-
in The Incredibles? That girl that can just stretch. What's her name?
Elastigirl?
Elastigirl.
Is that her name?
That's a woman.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of those.
it was a woman, wasn't it? I can't remember.
I think so.
And that's the female.
Is it
I
the
just-
mum that's the, or is it the
The
daughter?
mom.
It's the mum, yeah.
Yeah, the
that's-
mum is a stretchy one, right? The guy,
Yeah.
the dad is a really strong one, and the two children I don't remember.
I think
One
the
of them's
girl
really,
is invisible.
Yeah, Violet.
yeah, and one of them's really fast,
Violet,
right?
yeah.
And
I
then you
think
got
that's
baby
the boy.
Jack, who's a
Oh
demon.
yeah.
Well,
I
in
haven't seen that movie
response
in
to you guys loving the dentist, Elizabeth has said, "Are you aliens? Ugh, it's my nightmare." I agree with you, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I don't understand how anyone can love going to the dentist, but you have two outstanding young women here who would beg to differ. Amber has said, when I woke up from the anesthesia after they removed me wisdom teeth. You're sounding like Danielle there, after they
Me
removed me
wisdom
wisdom
teeth.
teeth.
I
I thought I was on the Miss Universe stage and started speaking in English and Spanish. Oh dear.
Oh.
I hope there's a recording of that.
You mean you were still in the dentist chair and you thought you were on the Miss Universe stage? The dentist, they must have seen some funny things. I remember coming out from anesthesia and the first words I heard was, "Is he okay? His heart rate is very, very low." It's not the first. It's not the best thing you want to hear when you're lying on the operating table. Someone saying, "Is he okay?" It's like, God, if I'm not, please put me back under.
I remember being
I have a
really
freakishly
happy.
low heart rate. Oh, were you
It's
on
like-
the happy gas?
I don't know. No, I got an injection because I got surgery on my nose, so I had to get like the anesthetic injected into my arm. So rather than over your face. So I just remember waking up and I was like, "Oh, hi everyone. Like, hi is everyone?" I was like, I don't even know what I was saying, but I just remember the nurse saying to me, "You're amazing. You're fantastic. Do you know a boy we had on earlier started hitting people when he woke up? You're great. You're a breath of fresh air." So the surgery they had before me, the guy woke up aggressive and I woke up all happy and they were over the moon because I was happy. Like the guy like before me was swinging punches, so I was just like, "Oh, hello everyone." Like I just felt great. And then my mum brought me a Subway to the hospital and I was in a room with people who had their tonsils out, so it was quite sad because they couldn't eat Subways, but it was okay for me because I could eat mine.
I
Teasing
don't quite
them.
know what to do with that story. That story had all sorts of emotions in it. Was the
I
guy who was in before you, was he Irish?
Of course he was, yeah.
All right, so swinging punches is just another day in the life of, right?
Yeah,
But
just
you're
waking up and
always, well, you're always happy.
Yeah,
When
but
are
I
you
just
not
so
happy?
chilled out when I woke up from surgery. I don't know. It feels like you've just woke up from the best sleep of your life. I think I was under for a few hours, but I don't know. I just felt so refreshed when I woke up, but sleepy at the same time. Like It was just nice. But then that night wasn't nice because I had like all this packing in my nose and I couldn't breathe. So the niceness didn't last very long. And then I just like, it kept bleeding as well. My nose kept bleeding. Although my nose has been bleeding. It was bleeding all day yesterday. I don't know why.
That's no good. But I might have to have the same surgery you did just because I can't breathe through my nose properly at all. And it's not an allergy thing. It's just there's something, I don't know, the sinuses are really fine and I feel like I've always got a bit of a cold. And I saw a TikTok the other day that was saying there are a lot of health issues for chronic mouth breathers. So now I'm freaked out going, well, I better be able to breathe through my nose. But yeah, the surgery doesn't sound nice given the way you described it.
No, it was actually fine whenever you woke up, but it was just because I actually got an infection in it a week later. So a lot of people, when they get like septoplasty, they would get packing in their nose that they just pull out in a few days, which looks like bandages. I don't know if you've seen clips of that on TikTok. It looks quite satisfying. I love watching those videos. But with me, I got dissolvable packing that stayed in there by itself for 10 days. So everyone else who gets the bandages gets it removed after 2 days. I was stuck and not being able to breathe for 10 days, and it started causing like a headache up here. It was supposed to come out by itself. Then I don't know, I ended up with an infection, ended up back in hospital, and yeah, it wasn't nice. But if you do get it, I would request to get like the bandage packing just so you don't have to go through that. I don't know if it was the packing got infected or whatever it was, but before I went in for surgery, the doctor brought me in being like, there's a slight chance after the surgery, I just have to warn you about it, but I've never seen it happen, that you could get an infection and you would start getting headaches and pain under your eyes, but don't worry, there's a very, very slim chance that it'll happen to you. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, I'll get my surgery. And then I was like in Tesco's working a week later and I felt like I was going blind. I've had migraines my whole life, but nothing can ever compared to the pain that I had, like under my eyes, behind my eyes, like headache, nausea, constant vomiting, and it was because of my surgery going wrong. But I'm fine now.
So I was going to say, so though you had migraines before, but it made the migraines worse. It made them worse.
Yeah, because the doctors had to take me in and had to put a camera. So they actually had student doctors in at the time, and they were like, okay, come in and we'll check out this patient. And the student doctors were like writing down their notes, and the doctor stuck the camera up my nose. And I just saw all the student doctors being like, ugh, because like there must have been like an infection up here. And they were like, I've never seen that before. And of course it happened to me. It was just embarrassing. And then they wouldn't let me go home. I was actually supposed to go see the dentist the next day because that's when I got my composite bonding done, and I was so excited to go to the dentist. And they were like, no, you have to stay in. You're staying in hospital. We're putting you up in a hospital bed. Like, they had to put me on antibiotics. They wouldn't let me leave. And I was gutted. I was so sad I didn't make it to the dentist. Like, my mom will tell you, I cried for like a week because I had to push, because it was a 4-hour dentist appointment.
Because you didn't get to see the dentist. You cried because you didn't get to see the dentist.
It was a 4-hour dentist appointment, and I was getting lots of stuff done. Yeah, so
what's wrong with you?
I had to push it back like a month and a half, and it was so sad because I just wanted to get the work done. So
I can't imagine what it's like lying there after surgery, having a whole bunch of doctors come in, shove a camera in me, and then go, ew. I mean, that's not something I know,
it was really embarrassing. Yeah.
That's not very professional, is it? This is what you want to hear from your doctor, is ew.
Yeah, but none of them had ever seen it. They'd all learned about it because you're told that it could be a possibility with that procedure, but none of them had actually seen it. So the fact that it was one of these things, there's a slim chance that this might happen, but it's unlikely, then they do that. And then, yeah.
Luck of the Irish, as they say.
But I was so sad. If they had asked me what packing I wanted beforehand, I would have been like, yeah, the one that you can take out in 2 days, not one that you leave up there and let it come out itself. Like
noted.
Why?
My best mate is going to have, she's got a deviated septum, so she's having that fixed in a few months' time. So I'll tell her that. I'll tell her to get.
That's what I had. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad surgery at all, and as long as she gets like the normal packing, she should be fine. I am blaming that packing for me and my infection, 100%.
So when Savannah jumped on, I did warn her that we tend not to really talk about pageantry.
I love that. I love our surgery talks.
Giving out advice about deviated septum surgery. Let's take a smooth segue here. Savannah, are you still playing tennis at all? I seem to remember you were... That's a no face. You've given up?
I haven't given up, but my coach, the guy that was teaching me tennis, went home to his country for a few months. So I haven't got a chance to get on the court. So sadly, no. Hopefully soon. If Sergio is watching, I would like to go play tennis.
Which country did he have to go back to? I didn't realize he was from another country.
He's from, I'm going to say Paraguay?
Paraguay.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. They've got a few good tennis players coming out from that. Well, they've always had good tennis players coming out from that region. They tend to be quite flamboyant. What sort of what's the best tip he's given you, just out of interest? For those who don't know, I used to be a tennis coach and I love tennis. So what has he taught you?
Well, I think what I struggle with the most is like being aggressive. Like I'm super like gentle and like nurturing. And so like
nurturing. How do you be nurturing on a tennis court? What are you doing? You're catching the ball and going, "Oh, it's okay. I won't hit you too hard."
Well, I love picking them up. Like whenever he's like, "Go get your balls," and I'm like running around like it's an Easter egg hunt. But I'm good at it, like just like swinging it.
You're like the kids I used to have. That was their favorite part of the tennis lesson, was when they got to pick up tennis balls, and I would always make a competition to see who would get the most. I swear to God, the only reason they were coming to tennis lessons was to pick up the tennis balls.
I love that.
I don't Have you seen either the cages or the ball pickup tubes? So you don't actually have to bend down.
Oh, yes, I have.
You have.
It taught me a fun trick that like to use your racket like a tray and fill it all up, and then you can take it with you.
Savannah, have you actually learned anything about how to hit the ball?
Yes, I learned a couple different, like there's like I've learned a few things. They're like over where you just barely hit it.
They're my best. When it's a little.
What I don't understand, you're using two hands. What are you?
Well, I don't know if you should use two hands. Like, you know, where you just like, you stand at the net basically and just like it over.
Oh, yes.
You got to do it with a wing.
Oh. No, you really don't. Otherwise, you're not playing tennis as far as I'm concerned. You mean volleys at the net where you have your racket up. Yeah. That's what we teach the beginners, is to stand at the net and just have your racket up and tap it. The problem is then when you play against someone who knows what they're doing, or they just hate life in general, they will rail the ball at you. And if you've had this lovely coach who's gently feeding you the balls and you think, hey, I really know what I'm doing, and then you stand there with the racket like this. I had one kid stand at the net like that, with his racket about 2 inches away from his nose.
Oh, no.
The other boy hit the ball so hard that he was ready to do his little, as Savannah said, little doink, and the racket got bang into his own head, and he starts crying. I think he got a bleeding nose or broke his glasses or something. I was trying not to laugh because it kind of looked funny, but was horrible at the same time. But yeah, you just got to be. It's not quite as. Yeah.
Guarantee that kid's going to have deviated septum surgery.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Well, he came back. This was at a tennis camp, and the next day he came back because his glasses broke in half. And he came up to me and he was crying and he was showing me the two halves of his glasses and he's holding one half in each hand. I'm trying not to laugh. And then the next day his mum brought him in and he was so happy. He runs up to me, Adrian, look. And his mother has fixed his glasses by wrapping band-aids around the broken bridge. So he's now wearing these glasses, which are slightly lopsided. And they've got this bandage wrapped around them.
Bless him.
Poor kid.
I'm a horrible person, aren't I? You guys are.
Yeah,
poor kid, and I'm like, that's so funny. This is
sad.
why I shouldn't be a tennis coach. Savannah, you got to get back. You got to get back into your tennis because I need someone to hit with, whichever country I go to. I know. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Oh wow!
So weird because there's another teenage USA pageant girl. Oh, Savannah's gone. Savannah, are you still there?
Oh.
Oh, there you are.
Did you get a call?
I got a call. I was like, who is trying to call me right now?
Anyway, I don't know. Do you know Natalie Drort? She's from Texas.
Yes.
Yeah. She also plays tennis, and she's also left-handed.
Oh my gosh.
So it seems to be a weird thing with pageant girls playing tennis that they're left-handed.
Yeah, that's not normal apparently. Like the guy that was teaching me tennis was like, it's weird. I don't know how to show you on this side.
Well, what I will say is if you are naturally left-handed, don't let anyone change you to being right-handed, because in tennis, being left-handed is a massive, massive advantage. Just trust me on that one. Because Natalie said her parents made her learn to write right-handed. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But in tennis, stay left-handed, because it's going to be a huge advantage for
you. Adrian, when you come to America, we're gonna go at it. We're gonna see.
Do you know what the original Latin word for left is?
Ooh, no.
Sinister, as in evil. The old Romans used to believe that left-handed people were the work of the devil.
Yeah, they used to burn women for being witches if they were left-handed.
What?
Yeah, they used to drown women as well if they were left-handed because they believed them to be witches. So bad.
Yeah.
Savannah,
you didn't say you were left-handed. You said you were left-handed.
Just in tennis. I write right-handed. Just when I play sports.
No, she's just a real life good witch.
Right. I want to be Glenda.
She's a magical person.
Do you throw left-handed, Savannah, or right-handed?
I can throw both. I like sports-wise.
Ambidextrous.
I'm dominant, so I would throw left, but I could throw right.
Okay. Well, when I was a coach, I used to the boss at the time used to get me to play against the kids, and he always wanted it to be a challenge. So it got to the point where some of the kids, it was too easy for me to beat them right-handed, so he made me play left-handed. So I actually had to learn how to play tennis left-handed. So if I do play with you and you haven't had enough lessons from Sergey and you're still doing this, then I can play you left-handed. And then we can see if I can beat you left-handed.
Oh, perfect. It's on. I'm ready for it.
My serve left-handed is really, really bad.
Well, that's leveled out the playing field.
I'm going to call my coach tomorrow and start playing this, Adrian. It's on.
Yeah. My serve left-handed literally looks like I throw the ball up and pancake it like this, and I hope it goes in, and the ball goes bee, boom.
So Savannah, what is your favorite part of the pageant? What is your favorite segment?
Ooh, well, I've always loved fashion, so I love the whole week in general, getting to have outfits that you specially picked out for these events. The evening gown portion, how could you not love it? Anything sparkly is my love language, so I love the fashion aspect of pageants.
Are you allowed to reveal your color for this year, or are you keeping it a secret until the pageant?
Well, we're keeping it a secret. I'm actually, so for Teen Universe, you wear one gown for preliminaries and one for finals, so you get to switch your gown. So, multicolored.
Ooh, she's going to do a switch up.
We're going to do a little switcheroo, so you'll see soon.
That's exciting.
Cute.
Yes. Definitely the sexiest I've ever gone. If you followed me when I was Georgia Teen USA and my various titles, I've been always very teeny. So this is time for
a little more grown up
coming out.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yes.
Amber here talking about coming out from her anesthesia. Yeah, my mum filmed it.
Oh,
That's
perfect.
helpful. The weird part is I'm not a native English speaker nor a native Spanish speaker.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious. We need to see that video.
I think, isn't that a sign to be really worried, Amber? If you come out from anesthesia and you start speaking other languages, I would be really worried, because that normally is a sign that something's happened in the brain.
You've been
sure
possessed.
you're fine now. Well, no, because the languages part is a certain part of the brain. So
if
you
can't
come
just
out
learn
from
a new language, you're possessed by someone that speaks that language. You can't just learn a vocabulary in another language.
If you're possessed by the demon, though, I hardly think you're going to come out and
Not a
start speaking in
demon.
Spanish, are you?
I could just be a very friendly
Maybe the
person.
nurse was left-handed.
Fair
I
enough.
watched a
Maybe
horror
Amber
movie
herself
last
is
night.
left-handed. Go, Chloe.
I was saying I watched a horror movie last night where the girl got possessed at one stage. It was quite good. It was Insidious 3, was it? Is that what it was called?
Oh, those are
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Yeah, that was quite good. I think that was the first one of those movies I'd actually seen, and yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I love a horror.
I love a horror.
Yeah, the Scream movies I think are so funny as well, and like slasher movies, everything.
See, I like them, but I have to have like someone with me because when I've watched scary movies on my own, I just can't sleep. Like,
Oh yeah.
Daddy
I'm a big
Latimer,
baby.
are
I'm a
you
big baby.
actually scared of scary movies,
Yeah,
are you?
yeah,
I would
it
never have
depends.
picked that in a million
Oh.
years.
yeah, I am. Like, I'm definitely one of those people that gets the pillow and looks above the pillow. Like, yeah, I can be a strong, independent woman in real life, but when it comes to a scary movie, I'm a big baby.
No, I love horror movies.
Let's see if Savannah can pick the one animal or thing that Danielle is actually phobic of.
You'll never guess.
You can ask her, like, maybe, let's say, 3 yes or no questions, and then you have to guess. But see if you can guess, because even her best friend, Marissa Butler, didn't know this. So see if you can guess what Danielle is phobic of.
Okay, can I ask like 3 questions and then like gather
Yeah.
a guess?
Go.
Let's see. Could it be a pet?
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of. Be a very weird one.
Yeah, some people have giant versions of this as their pet. I'm giving clues now.
Let's see. What color is it? Or like, do they vary?
Not really. They are
Brown.
brown.
Is it like
Unless they're a cartoon one.
Well, it's not a cartoon
Like
one.
a
It's very
bear?
brown.
like a little hamster?
Yeah,
Nope.
No.
I will tell you. I'll give you a clue. There's an emoji
I'll give you
for
one.
it.
Oh, a monkey. A monkey?
Gary!
A giant version is a pet.
Gary!
Scary.
They're not scary, but it's an irrational phobia. You would not
Gary.
be.
A dog? A
Normal person is not scared of this thing.
Savannah, you might eat it when you go to France. If you're adventurous.
SpongeBob!
Like a deer?
SpongeBob!
Huh?
Oh, a squirrel.
Why are you saying SpongeBob? What does that have to do with anything?
Sandy the
Gary!
You might eat it in France with a lot of
squirrel?
garlic.
No, it's still not the squirrel. I am terrible at this
They
game.
move really
What?
slow.
Oh, a
What's
sloth.
Slugs
What's
and
A
snails.
snail.
What's
A
SpongeBob's
snail.
pet?
Oh.
Yeah, I have an irrational. If I step on one, I will faint.
I thought it was a sloth. I was like,
A sloth.
Oh,
It's a snail.
You said sloth. A snail.
a snail.
Yeah, like you know the crunch when you step on a snail.
Yeah.
That thinking about that makes me feel sick. It
Oh.
brings my heart rate. I think it's knowing the fact that I've killed an animal makes me feel so guilty. And just the sliminess. No,
Have you seen
I will
the snail
faint.
facials? Like they have little snails that crawl over your face, and it's apparently like cures anything. So
No, I'd rather die of everything than.
Amber, I can see, I think you've raised your hand in the clubhouse room. So just let me know. If you still have the question, I can bring you on. But if you ask the question in the comments, just let me know that as well. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on Clubhouse and I'm very, very new at it. So Amber, if you're watching or listening, just let me know if you still... Oh yeah, she's removed the hand. It's probably a bit easier, Amber, to ask on the comments just because I'm not used to looking at the Clubhouse. But if you can let us know if the audio in the Clubhouse is okay, that'd be great. So yeah, Danielle Latimer, afraid of nothing except snails and dodgy, scary movies.
Yeah, and needles. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to disclose?
And root canals.
Well, that's not a phobia. Any
like
sensible, sane person is not going to like root canals.
What else do I have a phobia of? I think that's it, really. The weird one is the snails.
Yeah, and like needle phobia, that's not... I know
That's
people
quite
say
normal.
it's a phobia, but yeah, like you would be scared of someone sticking a sharp object into you. One of my friends... You go.
I actually, after giving blood, I fainted.
Oh.
So I came over, I think what it was, I saw the packet of my blood and made me feel really woozy. And I felt, I do recommend giving blood. I was fine. I came round. But because of COVID, there was this massive, it was like, you know, in Monsters, Inc., when they go code so-and-so number, whatever it is, code 322 or whatever, they literally, everyone, all the nurses ran. They put these shields, put them all around me, because if I was to vomit, COVID, so they literally like all surrounded me. I literally just wanted to lay down. I just said to him, I just need to lie down, that's all. So I laid down, I came to, I had a sugary drink, and then I was back on with my day. Didn't disclose that at the time because I didn't want people to be scared about giving blood, but I'm just a wuss and I am scared of needles.
I understand that one though, because one time I had to have blood taken out for a blood test, and what happens is they need to fill, like, let's say 3 vials with your blood. And what happens is they have to stick a needle in, and they just leave it there. So you're there with like the jabby part of a needle stuck in your arm, and you can kind of feel it moving around, which is just not right. No. But the vials are vacuums. They're vacuum sealed. So what happens, and they have a rubber seal. So they have to push it onto the back part of the needle, break the seal, and because there's a vacuum in the tube, it sucks your blood in. And it's quite a strong vacuum. So you can actually, you know, like if you were filling a glass of water, you can hear that sound in the tube, but it's your blood. And they had to do it like 3 times. And after having to, because also it moves when they stick the vial on the needle part, because it's in your arm and they can't just slide it on. They have to break a rubber seal. And you're just there going, oh, please let it be over. Please let it. I'm all right with an injection. But having the thing left in your arm whilst they're going around and going, how's your day? You know, how have you been? And you're like, oh, just please get this blood. It's like being at the dentist. The dentist wait till they have 5 arms and a semi-trailer in your mouth. And then they ask, so how is your day? And honestly, like I feel my dentist does it on purpose. We could have had this discussion before. She waits until she's got like this divider that she wants to bite on so she can get an x-ray of my teeth. And then she asks me how my day is.
You see, I actually don't mind giving blood or needles at all. But whenever I just don't like, you know, that balloon type object they tie around your arm to see your veins. I just don't like that. But what I didn't like was, remember after I got out of hospital for my surgery and I ended up having to go back in because of that infection. Well, to clear up that infection, I had to get an antibiotic. But instead of putting me on a drip where it just gradually goes in, they just had like a huge, like a really thick, fat syringe, like full of the antibiotic, and pushed it all in at once. And it was quite heavy getting it pushed through, almost like it felt like my veins were bruising because there was so much getting pumped through at one time rather than gradually on the drip. It was all getting forced in at once, and it was like a very, very heavy feeling like on my veins with so much going in at once. So usually with any other like injections or jabs or boosters or giving blood, I'm fine, but that was a bit much, having a full antibiotic pushed through at once. It's just a bit overwhelming. But I haven't really got any phobias. I'm not scared of anything, but I do have claustrophobia, so I get really anxious in tight spaces. And I remember being in Barcelona when I was younger, and I just started crying on this crowded train. And like, I remember being I just remember thinking I was going to die at that point. Like, if I'm in a tight, packed space, I get really, really overwhelmed, and I just break into tears, and I feel like I can't breathe. And I think it was possibly partly because at the time I didn't realize I had a deviated septum as well. So it's not helping when you can't breathe through your nose anyway and you're in a tight, crowded space. I don't know how I would react in it now because I haven't, since having my surgery, I've never really felt seriously claustrophobic. But it would be interesting to see if it's still as bad as it was now that I can breathe through my nose. So it would be interesting. But I think it wouldn't really go.
Don't travel on the tube. Don't travel on the tube in London at rush hour. There's many a times that during the summer, there is still some tube lines that don't have any air conditioning, and they get like an oven. Yeah, because it's the oldest underground train system in the world, guys. Like, you know, there's a lot of the District line and the one that I'm on, that has all new trains and they're a lot bigger and they have air conditioning. They're great. Whereas the Metropolitan line, the Circle line, they don't have air conditioning. They just have like vents that open up to let air in. But obviously you're underground, so it's just kind of like dirt and not very nice, basically. And in the summer, they get so hot. I mean, obviously, if it's rush hour time, you are packed in like sardines. And a lot of the time, there's like no air from anywhere. So if you go in one of the big, I always say, if anyone's in London and they get on the tube, if you go on the Central line and you go the double doors, don't want to go by the double doors. You want to go by the single doors while there's a vent. Because as soon as you get packed in by those double doors, you've got everyone crushing you. You can't breathe. Just avoid the Central line at rush hour. I used to have to do that every single day for my job in the city, and I'm so thankful for coronavirus for taking away my boring corporate job so I don't have to do it again.
I wish someone had told me that about the London tube before I got on, because the last time I got on it was just, I mean, I don't know, Savannah, you haven't been to London, have you?
No, I haven't.
Have you been to New York? Because in New York, the underground there, have you? Yeah, yes. That's somewhat equivalent. In fact, I think that might even be worse, because when I went on that was something else. I was being taken around by an American friend of mine, and she told me when I was on the underground carriage, like, if you don't use your elbows to get people out of the way to get out, you will be in here for the rest of your life. Like, you will die because everyone just keep cramming in, so you can't get out.
No, that's the thing. I'm so gentle as well, so that's why I like cry and I get myself squashed because I'm too polite to like move people out of the way.
But if you start crying, you see, then people will actually take notice of you, and you'll get what you want. So it actually does work. I mean, it might be better if you just use your elbows rather than having to cry.
Yeah, and there's been points where I've been on the tube and I've had to crouch down.
Oh my goodness!
Because I felt like faint, and because it's so hot and it is claustrophobic when you've got like someone's armpit holding a rail right up against your face.
This is why I'm glad to be tall.
I sometimes crouch down by the floor, and they must think, who is this crazy woman that's like crouched down? Because I always get stuck by the doors. Just crouch down by the doors and get ready to jump up whenever the doors open so I don't fall out.
The funny thing is, it's so crowded, you could actually, in theory, faint and you'd still be upright.
Yeah.
Because you don't have room to fall over. So you could just faint and then wake up and you'd be okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Hardcore, man.
Anyway.
London life is hard.
It is something else. Savannah, everyone else has talked about their phobias. I have to ask, do you have any phobias?
Any phobias? I used to have a really crazy phobia about visiting Hawaii. For some reason, like, no other island bothered me. Like, I was totally into like going to Jamaica, but like the thought of going to Hawaii, and this is so crazy, I was terrified of Pearl Harbor. I like watched the movie and I was like, I'm like afraid if I go to Hawaii, like it's gonna, like there's gonna be
happen again.
Yeah, and I was so afraid that I was gonna be in Pearl Harbor again. So
I thought you meant from like a volcano standpoint, like a volcano was gonna erupt.
No,
that's what I thought you meant too.
No, and my family like kept trying to plan trips to Hawaii, and I was like, absolutely not. Like I would like just a tantrum, like have a panic attack about going to Hawaii. But I actually went to Hawaii a couple years ago and it was beautiful. But the worst thing that happened to me, but Harbor didn't occur again. So I made it through.
That's amazing. I used to actually have nightmares about tsunamis. I remember watching a documentary one time with a family that were holidaying, and it was like a British family, but they survived like the tsunami, and they were telling their stories. And I was just a kid at the time watching this documentary. I think I was about 8 or 9, and I just kept having this nightmare of lying in my bed and this tsunami, like, wiping me out. And even though you don't get tsunamis in Ireland, I used to go and sleep beside my mom. I was so scared, and I was convinced that I was going to get hit by a tsunami. And it was so funny because it was back when I was going on my first cruise when I was about 9, is when I kept having these nightmares. And I was like, oh, but it's like places like the islands that we go when we're doing the cruise that would get hit by a tsunami. And I was just terrified even going to any of these islands, just in case, because I can't swim, so I have a fear of deep water anyway. So yeah, just as a child, I was convinced that a tsunami was going to get me, but touch wood, it never does.
Okay, I think we need to club together, guys, and we need to pay for swimming lessons for Chloe for her birthday.
Right? It sounds like...
that fear of deep water and tsunamis, that's one that I have as well. The one that really scares me is if you're on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, and for some reason you don't tend to get massive waves out in the ocean. They tend to become massive when they hit the shore. But in theory, if there was a cataclysmic event, let's say a meteor, one of those like 2012 movies, hits the ocean. Yes, Savannah, like Pearl Harbor. And then if there is, because they can be massive. Have you seen some of these waves that these whacked out surfers try and take on? And you'd see the surfer like this, and the wave is like this. The thing is, they make no noise out in the ocean. So what would happen is, and you can't see because it's black at night, right? There's literally no lights. So you would be looking at the moon and the stars, and then suddenly all of it would just disappear because the wave has basically covered the sky. And that's the sign that there's a giant wave about to take you out. That terrifies me. And also water spouts, which is basically like a cyclone out in the ocean, and it's just sucking all the water up. And to think that would be next to your boat, that terrifies me. So you're not alone on that one, Chloe.
Have you seen Poseidon?
No. Yes, I've seen that one.
Where the cruise ship gets flipped by a rogue wave and it goes upside down.
Oh, I saw that in 2012. That happened as well. The whole ship goes sideways and then crashes over.
I remember
Fergie being in that film. The guy that tripped and fell into a lifeboat? No.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think there wasn't time for them to get a lifeboat. A rogue wave hit and it flipped the entire ship.
Oh, no, I thought you meant the true story. There was a true story where a ship was going down and the captain isn't supposed to leave first, but apparently he tripped and fell into a lifeboat. And
how do you trip and fall in a lifeboat and then like just wiggle it off the
normally where the captain is, it's not really next to a lifeboat. It doesn't fill you with great confidence if you look at the command center of a giant ship and the thing that's right next to him is a lifeboat. That'd be like a pilot having a parachute on when they take you up. Yeah.
I learned from the movie Titanic that the captain must go down with the ship.
Yes.
That's why that.
Talking of Pearl Harbor,
I think that guy actually got in trouble.
Yeah, you're supposed to go down with the ship. Apparently, the captain.
Well, that's in old naval parlance. I mean, it doesn't apply to civilian boats so much. It's more naval tradition that if your ship is going down, especially the Japanese, because the Japanese are all about honor. So if you had failed, it was basically there was nothing to go back to. You had to go down with the ship. In fact, I think that was in the Pearl Harbor movie. I don't know, Savannah, if you're talking about that movie.
PTSD.
But in the more modern one, the Japanese guy realized he's failed.
Oh,
what is it?
That's the guy that tripped and fell into the lifeboat.
Yeah, I'm going to believe that one.
He claims that he tripped. Yeah, that's him. I think he got arrested. That's him getting arrested because
for
I think
the
it's
ship.
I think you have to let the passengers go in the lifeboats first. The captain has to go down last. So they arrested him because he tripped and fell into the lifeboat.
Did that ship go down and people die?
I can't remember if anyone died. I know that it was a serious accident.
What happened? Did the ship run aground or run into another ship or?
I can't remember. I just remember seeing him on the news. Abandoning the ship after struck rocks.
Please don't tell me it hit an iceberg. Whilst you look that up, I'm just going to finish up with these comments here. So, Elizabeth here is about her shoulder. Elizabeth, basically, it's when your shoulder half just pops but doesn't dislocate. So I have to show you when it next happens. I mean, feel free not to. I'm okay with not seeing that. It doesn't sound. I mean, you saw my reaction to Savannah's elbow. Elizabeth Shaw said, not decrying Chloe's surgery, but a surgically broken pelvis is actually something else yet. For some reason, I've done it twice. Once on each hip. How do you break a pelvis? Is it like if you fell down really hard on your butt?
That's a big old bone to break.
Yeah, that's like breaking a femur. That's not easy to do. Jesus, that would be painful. It's also really hard to heal. Lucia said, I can watch loads of true crime documentaries, but horror movies are huge.
I'm the same.
I don't know what it is about you pageant girls. You're all obsessed with murder and death. It's really quite disturbing. As Savannah laughs as I say murder and death. But I said the audio is great. I use a Clubhouse audio and just watch on here. Cool, thank you for letting me know. And Elizabeth, I'm fine with blood and needles. I've just become used to it. I'm guessing the antibiotic was given intramuscularly. Oh, you'd have to ask Chloe that, and Chloe's busy researching this captain who jumped ship, literally.
What was that?
Was your antibiotic given intramuscularly?
I don't know. It was just through the wrist. And I could feel it very, very heavily, a lot, like a very, very thick, syringe. Like it was huge, and they just pushed it all through, forced it all through at once, rather than putting it in a drip, and it just wasn't nice. It just felt very, very heavy, and almost felt like my veins were bruising. It was weird. But don't mind needles or anything like that.
Probably not. It was in the wrist. It probably wasn't intramuscularly. Still sounds horrible. Elizabeth said, "Nope. I deliberately had it done to correct the deformity." Gee, that must have hurt.
Wow.
Or was it my hand?
How do they?
Oh no, I think it was in my hand.
Pelvis?
Maybe, was it the top of your hand?
They injected in your hand?
Yeah, it was my hand. It was my hand, and I just remember feeling very, very heavy.
I've never seen an injection go in a hand. A drip, sure, but not an actual injection.
Yeah, that's where
it goes in your arm or your butt.
Yeah, no, it should have been a drip. That's what it was, a drip. But they had it all in one syringe and shoved it all in at once rather than putting it in a drip.
For any particular reason, or just for fun?
No, they did ask me. I didn't realize how sore it was going to be. She's like, "Oh, do you want me to put this in a drip, or I just put it in?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you just put it in." And then, yeah, it was very heavy and not nice. Ugh. There's just too much going on.
What's the situation like in Australia with the vaccine rollout?
Italy stopped 200,000 vials of the vaccine coming to us because they don't have enough for themselves. Thank you, Italians. After all the love I've given to pizza and pasta, you're not going to let us have our vaccinations, because that's an EU rule. Because a lot of the vaccinations are being made in the EU, so apparently they now have this rule that if they don't have enough for themselves, they're allowed to stop vials of the vaccine being exported, which I can understand. But at the same time, I think it's a very bad look because Australia owns those vials. We've organised it to come here, and the Italians have said basically, no, you're not getting it. So, aside from that, Australia is as back to normal as any country in the world, along with New Zealand, probably. It's crazy because when I talk to you guys, it's still really bad. But here, it's like, it's almost been forgotten. I don't need to wear a mask outdoors at all. Gatherings, weddings, funerals, photo sessions, bridal shoots, you can do all of it. So,
and it's kind of similar in the States as well, Savannah. Like, I feel like you guys can still go out and eat, right?
Right. Every state kind of has their own regulations. And I've still been traveling with everything going on. So I've witnessed every degree of it. Like Texas, they have a non-mask mandate now, so you don't have to wear a mask anywhere. But here in my home of Georgia, it's pretty chill, but like there's still like to get into a store you have to wear a mask, but nothing
Mhm.
crazy. At least we can eat at a restaurant in person, which is exciting.
That's
When
good.
is has a lockdown in the UK been extended? Like, what's happening with the UK lockdown?
So we have a roadmap now. So Boris he came out and did a chat. So we have some ideas. A lot of places will be opening up on the 12th of April, I believe. So
Okay.
things like gyms will be opening back up. There will still be social distancing. You can't use that as an excuse to just go and meet up with your friend at the gym, basically. So we are still in a lockdown here, which is severe, until the 12th of April. And then on the 17th of May, we're allowed to internationally travel again.
Oh.
So with the vaccine rollout, it's been very successful. Our cases have dramatically declined. We are now starting to tackle I believe the next group of people being vaccinated is 46 to 49. Very strange age bracket, 46. I don't understand 45 to 49. Don't understand it.
It must be a numbers thing.
Yeah, it's a numbers thing. So we have between 46 and 49 are being vaccinated within the next few weeks. Hopefully I'll be getting, this is the part where I'm so glad that I'm a little bit older. So fingers crossed I'll get my vaccine nice and soon. Everyone in my household has had it, just not me. But yeah, it's looking more positive now. So in terms of being able to travel, hopefully I'd like to travel in May time when I'm allowed.
Well, that sounds like good news. It's good to hear it's rounding the corner because it was pretty bloody bleak over in the UK. Over your guys' Christmas. Christmas basically was cancelled and Boris Johnson had to be the Grinch. So he certainly wasn't the most popular world leader at that time, let's just say, and I think deservedly so. Chloe, before we wrap up, do you want to let us know what you found out about this captain who jumped ship and then was arrested?
Oh yeah, 11 people died.
Oh,
what happened to the ship? How did that happen?
It went down. There were still 300 people on board when it went down, and he just tripped and fell into a lifeboat.
Mm-hmm. This was a cruise ship.
I think it was like a smaller cruise ship. It was in Italy in 2012.
What happened to it? Because that doesn't happen very often.
Oh, is that the one that went into the rock? Did it hit into rocks?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, okay. Yeah. Well, maybe I won't go cruising around Italy then. Never know what they're getting up to. That is the lamest excuse. So, I mean, if you can imagine how much time you would have had to formulate an excuse if you did jump ship. I tripped and fell into a lifeboat. That's even worse than the dog ate my homework. I mean, come on. Come up with something better than that. Like, I don't know, a bulkhead fell over and knocked me out. Next thing I knew, I woke up and I was on the lifeboat. That's already better than I tripped and fell into a life raft. Well, Savannah, as I said, we didn't really talk about pageantry, did we?
I love it, though. I mean, some good
well, we've been on for a while, so we might hold it there. Just before we go, Savannah, what have you got coming up in the lead up to the pageant? I guess it's just getting ready for that and then flying out, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm taking my official headshots and flying from Orlando to Florida tomorrow.
Oh my God, are you shooting with Carlos?
I am with Carlos.
Yeah,
Please shoot on Instagram because I'm sure we'll post a million behind the scenes. But so I'm taking my official headshots, the most exciting part. My wardrobe will be arriving, and then I'll be on a plane to Nicaragua as soon as we can think about it.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to see those pictures. His work is amazing.
Oh, he's so incredible. I've shot with him a couple times, and he's just keeps leveling up. I'm like, wow. So talented.
Incredible.
Well, good luck for the pageant. Not that you need it, but good luck.
You'll be amazing. I can't wait to watch.
You're very sweet. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And we'll be tuning in, depending on what time it is. But we'll do our best to tune in. Danielle and Chloe, what have you guys got coming up over the next week?
Not a lot, really. Just been manifesting. that's about it, really. It's been working for the past few days. I am looking to buy a new car because I was in an accident and I had my payout today.
Toaster.
Long live the little toaster that's now resting in peace. I had the payout today, in pieces, literally. It wasn't my accident, the fault, so I did have a nice little payout, which is just landed in my account today. So I'll be shopping for a new car. I'll be working on promoting my my Hometown Hero Awards, which is now applications are open. So if anyone that's watching that has someone in their life they'd like to pay it forward to, pay a little bit of gratitude towards them, check out my Hometown Hero Awards on the Clever Initiative Instagram page and Facebook page. So yeah, just gonna be working on that, and hopefully today after this call, I've got a message waiting for me. I will be purchasing my Galaxy International gown because I finally found the one.
Oh my goodness!
Fingers crossed, because I think a lot of people want this gown. So and it's a one of a kind. So hopefully the woman allows me to purchase it from her. So yeah, that's what I've got planned up.
Savannah, you bumped into the International Galaxy pageant by mistake, didn't you?
I did. When we were in Florida, I crashed the party.
You crashed the Galaxy party.
I did.
I love it.
Well, there you go. Chloe, what have you got coming up over the next week?
Yeah, I think over the next week I will be just kind of relaxing. I'm about to switch jobs. I'm about to get roasted on Thursday as well. Looking forward to that, Adrian.
You'll have to explain that to Savannah.
So context.
Savannah
has some context here.
Yeah, I was like roasted.
Yeah. Adrian's making me a roast video for my birthday.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, I can't wait to get roasted. It'll be quite funny because I think like during lockdown, it's just like it's something to pick you up and make you laugh. And even if it's laughing at myself, at least it's still laughing. And if you can't laugh at yourself, who are you gonna ever be able to laugh at? So I did ask for the roast video, and I'm really looking forward to it now.
Well, at least you can start today with her ring light clip.
Yeah. There'll be plenty of those.
Savannah, to give you an idea, as funny as you might think that was, that's not good enough to actually make the
to make the video.
No, given what she said, specifically some of the things that she's been saying on the podcast in recent weeks, far eclipse a ring light falling on her head. I am so tempted to show you one of the bits that I made up, but I can't do that on air because I think it's too far, but I might show you guys afterwards just so you can get a sneak peek. But look, thank you to everyone for tuning in, and thank you to Savannah for making time in your busy schedule for us.
Of course.
And thank you for tuning in, whether it's live or on Clubhouse or you're listening on the podcast. And I'll keep everyone on the line for just a sec whilst I hang up with the audience, and we will speak to you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember, Confessions is out. To get your copy from Amazon, head to shaw.b/confessionsbook, and I'll see you next time.